Hi! I get a lot of questions about why do you put Sugru on your camera. This is a Fujifilm X-T1 camera, and as you can see I've put some red Sugru on these buttons and a few more actually. But why do you put them on a brand new and great camera like this? Well, first of all, no camera is perfect. This is damn close, but I felt these buttons were a little bit too flat or too recessed into the camera house. So I had a problem feeling where these buttons are without looking. And when I'm shooting, I have my camera to my eye, of course, and I move the focus point around a lot. And then my thumb has to know where it is. Of course, it knows it is here on my right hand, and I'm so lucky I even have one on my left hand, two thumbs up. But I need to know where is my thumb on the back of the camera. Which button am I pushing? So, to know that, I put some Sugru on them, just to get them a little bit higher. Not to get more clicking, but to get them higher. Okay, so how do we do it? How do we put Sugru on a camera? To show you that, I've gotten hold of this brand new Fujifilm X-T1 GS, the graphite silver. No Sugru on the buttons yet. So I want you to join me inside, and we're gonna put some great looking Sugru on this camera and improve it even more. Okay? You might be wondering, what am I doing out here in the cold? It's snowing, it's freezing, it's about 10 degrees below zero. It's not just to prove that the Fujifilm cameras work in the cold, because they actually do. I even chose beautiful Holmenkollen ski jump as a backdrop today. But what am I doing out here? Talking about Sugru. Haven't got the faintest clue, so let's go inside instead, okay? Chop chop! Okay, so now we're inside. We're gonna start working on the camera. Here it is. The only difference between the one you saw just a couple of minutes ago is I've added the EC-XTL, the long eye cup. You don't have to do that to put Sugru on the camera, just in case you were wondering. I just happen to love this eye cup, so keep straight like that. That's great. And in addition to the camera, you need maybe a couple of tweezers, I don't know, but nice keeping them handy. And you need an ordinary toothpick. Nothing magic about it, it's a toothpick. And you need some Sugru. Okay, I chose red. Well, who doesn't love red? So let's use red. And one important thing before you start applying Sugru to your camera, use some ordinary tissue paper. Just wipe off your hands, clean them, in case you have some grease or some lotion or anything. And you might want to just rub it a bit against the buttons you're going to put Sugru on. I'm going to put Sugru on the D-pad, the 4 buttons here. I'm going to put Sugru on the focus assist button, and the reason is because when I'm on the back of the camera, finding the focus direction isn't the only thing important for me. I like to have the focus assist button so I can quickly go in and out of the image checking focus. I'm also going to put it on the AFL button, that button which activates autofocus when you're in manual mode. Nice to have a little dot of Sugru there, so your finger can find it easily. I'm also going to put one on the front here, because I've assigned that button to be my I'm turning on and off the preview exposure in manual mode. Okay, so here's the camera. I've taken a pack of Sugru, opened it, cut it open with a pair of scissors, and I've taken out this lump of Sugru. Okay? That'll be more than enough for at least this camera and probably 10 more, you know. I've seen people go like this, they take the Sugru and they do this and they say, oops, I've Sugru'd my camera, doesn't look good, hell, I'm gonna take it off again. Okay, that's not the way to do it. You need a little bit of Sugru, and by little, I mean very little. Start molding it, start taking it into your hand, making it kind of warmer, you know. You want to do this in room temperature, that's why I'm not standing outside the Holmenkollen ski jump. You're molding it like this, you get kind of, you know, get a little bit more flexible. Then you pinch off a little bit, and by little, I'm gonna put that little bit right here. You see this? That's still a lot, okay? I'm gonna start rolling it out, you know, I'm going to take it on my fingers. I'm going to move the camera, and you can see here, just rolling it out with my fingers. And you can start to see it's quite a thin piece of Sugru I'm rolling. Okay, this here and this will last for maybe 2 buttons. Okay, so I'm going to pinch off a little bit of it, just leave it down here. Pinch off a little more. That wasn't enough actually. And then I'm going to take this thin slice of Sugru and just kind of place it here. Try to place it there. Just it'll stick to your finger. So there, nice, and we're done. Okay, you do that 3 times more, and I'm going to laugh at you. Take it here a little toothpick, and you start shaping it. Okay, you're gonna go like this. You're gonna push it in at the sides like this. As you can see here, this is the kind of process where you're gonna want to spend some time on it. I don't mean much time. Just press it a little bit downward so it'll stick to the button. Oops, lost my toothpick. No worries. I'm gonna use my fingernail. Just push it. You see, I'm using my fingernail just to get the shape of the Sugru. Get back my toothpick like this. I'm gonna push it in. It's a little bit hard doing this and filming it at the same time, you know. It's easier doing it when you don't have to explain everything you're doing. But kind of like that. That's a nice piece of Sugru, I think. Could be even more improved. I think, see on the right side it's a little bit not that smooth, but I'll take another little bit Sugru. See this one? Not a big lump, but when I put it on one of the buttons, it suddenly is quite a large piece of Sugru. So I'm gonna pinch off about, well, half of that. The problem actually is that when you start pinching off, you have so little Sugru that it's like you see here, it fell on my wheel there. But when you start putting it on one of the buttons, it's more than enough. I'm not using the Sugru to build a new camera. I'm just using it to mark my buttons, you know. So I don't want to have a big lump of Sugru sticking out on the back of the camera. Just wanna, because now my finger feels, that's the focus assist, because that has a little bit of lumpiness to it. This one, well, it's not. So this one's important for me to have Sugru on, and of these two, I just want to find my AFL button. It's some will prefer to use this as the AFL because in the firmware 3 you can switch these, but I like to have it here. So I'm going to put one little dot there and one on the front and 3 more here. But I'm not going to bore you to death by looking at me using a toothpick to making Sugru look great. It's you'll probably find more exciting stuff to watch on Netflix or wherever, so I'll leave you to that instead. And this is one Sugru button. What was that? A minute and a half, maximum 2. Okay, great job. Now you do it, and you do it on all 4 and whatever buttons you want to have Sugru on. Okay, just going to show you the 4 buttons. Here they are, all of them nicely Sugru'd up with some red fancy flashy Sugru, and the other buttons as well. One important thing is that now you got yourself a camera with a red dot on the front, and I've heard people pay a lot of money for cameras with a red dot on the front. So maybe I'll put this one on eBay later today, because I expect the price to go sky high now that it's got a red dot on it. But now, I said this process was easy, I was lying. Now comes the real hard part, because you have to leave your precious Fujifilm X-T1 camera without using it for the next 24 hours. And that's a challenge. Can you do it?